Hello and welcome, everyone, to a new segment here at the animation station called Animation on the Radar. Hopefully this will look slightly better and more professional than that one time I used this same graphic to introduce the animation station. This is actually scripted this time. So in this new short episode, myself or Mytho will go through various animatics or trailers for animated series that we intend on reviewing when said series or animated shorts are released. This will let you know exactly what we intend on reviewing in the future, and it gives the animated projects a bit more exposure, though it's probably likely that you will have heard of at least one, if not more, of these projects I have with me today. So just before we begin, I should also note that this will be a fairly infrequent upload, as there aren't too many animated projects that we can review in the long run. Most come out with little warning, or are coming out so soon that there's really not much point in making a video about us reviewing them, when the video of us reviewing them will come out the next day, you know. That, and also I'm busy and this takes longer to edit, and then I'm also extremely lazy. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? First on the list we have Fall of an Empire by Silly Philly Studios. Now, undoubtedly most of you will have seen the other works of Silly Philly Studios, such as their first production, Luna's Cutie Mark, and various other subsequent animated shorts like The Adventures of Donut Steel and Snowdrop. The story here is what could have happened when Luna and Celestia paid a visit to King Sombra to take him down 1,000 years ago. And as you can see, though there's not much to go on in the trailer, the visuals look stunning as ever, even in this incomplete state, and the background music and atmosphere, well...
It doesn't need to be like this.
gives you shivers. So you can probably guess that I'm rather excited to see this through to completion, though it'll probably be a few more months before we get the finished product, as Silly Philly Studios has said in their video description. Either way, I can say with relative confidence that it's going to be one of the high points of the year when it's released. Secondly, on the list, we have... The Lullaby for a Princess Animatic by Warpout. Now, there's not really much to go on with this guy because I haven't really seen much of his work and there's not really much of it online, but my god, if you've watched that animatic you'll know how good it is. I am really excited for this one, and a few people in the comments have said it of the video, and I'm willing to go with them when I say that it may well surpass Children of the Night in kind of grandiose amazingness, because it's all hand-drawn frame-by-frame animation, and in a way that's probably why it's going to take so long. Recently he uploaded a update video, and he said that it would take around a year and a half, it was his best guess, which isn't too bad when you consider The Lion King took 3 years to produce with a full team. 1.5 years for one guy isn't bad at all. And at the end of said update video, he released a little bit from scene 1, fully animated, and wow. I am ridiculously excited to see this through. I really want to see this completed because it looks absolutely amazing, and I've only seen one scene in the animatic. Other information, of course, is the fact that he has said it will be done in 24 frames a second HD. So 24 frames a second for a 3 or 4 minute piece of music, hand-drawn animation, you can do the maths. But yes, of course this is based on the Lullaby for a Princess musical piece, I should say, by Ponyphonic. And so that, which I loved, plus this animation, which I'm sure I'm going to love, makes for an absolutely amazing combination that I can't wait to see. And last but not least for this week's edition of On the Radar is... True Tale by Skynamic Studios. Oh, I see what you did there. Skynamic. It's like dynamic, isn't it? Anyway, this is one which I'm not entirely sure about. It could go either way. It was produced by Zachary Rich, the producer obviously of Double Rainbow, and if any of you know my thoughts on Double Rainbow, well, I won't get into them here, but it had a lot of problems and shortfallings, and I wasn't the only one who noticed it. A lot of people picked up on it. So this is kind of touchy, like it could go either way, and I'm more than willing to give it a fair hearing when it comes out. I think if it's done properly, it could be really interesting. Though the idea isn't as original as it could be, the animation looks, well, the character design looks very good, and I'm hoping the animation will be up to scratch with it. I'm also hoping that Zachary Rich, if he is the lead producer on this, takes away what he learnt from Double Rainbow and improves upon it, because Double Rainbow had problems, and I really don't want to see them carried through into another animated work such as this one. And as I say, really it could go either way is all I can say, because it wasn't so much a trailer as a concept reveal, and there wasn't much to go on apart from the character designs, which look good enough, but it does make me concerned for the animation. Not massively, but again, could go either way. The animation could be very good, but I think to stop it from being bland, it needs to have the lighting and shading effects similar to the ending picture where the cast is all assembled. And the backgrounds, of course, need to be relatively detailed to keep up the theme of grand adventure, which is what they're trying to convey in this series. But looking at the backgrounds in the concept reveal, it looks like it could go fairly well. It looks relatively solid, you know, I can't complain about it at all, so we'll just have to see. But I'm more than willing to give it a fair hearing when it actually comes out, even though first impressions count, and Double Rainbow did not leave the best first impression that it could have. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the very first On the Radar segment for the animation station. Now, there are a few things that I just want to wrap up with. Number one is, if you have any animations, like trailers that aren't complete, animatics, send them in to us, and I will probably not be this elaborate with it, but I'll definitely do something for the On the Radar segment to kind of bring exposure to it and let everyone know that that's definitely something we're going to do in the future when it's released. And secondly, let me know what you thought of this, because it did take quite a while to edit this. As of this little bit of recording with my voice now, this is about 3 or 4 hours later after I finished editing it. So, you know, it took quite a while, and I want to know whether it's worthwhile doing something like this again. So, let me know, and I will see you all next time.